Person 69, so your energy manifests onto the rainbow road, and you take the shape of a cow. And the cow is sitting in this huge open field with just a singular tree behind it, and it's chewing on the grass. And it just keeps, its mouth just keeps going in that circle, chewing on the grass. And so I watch this, and I just, nothing else is happening, so I get that it's all connected to this cow. And so I start to try and figure out what the symbology of a cow is, and I'm not quite sure for myself, and so I actually had to move into embodying like the energy of this animal to get what its message was for you. And so the animal, or the cow, basically said that it's not passive, because I think that's typical symbology of cow is like passive, but the cow had a female voice, and she said, "I'm not passive, I'm patient, and my patience allows me to be strong. I have calm reprieve, like I can be patient and strong." And so then I got this connection. Since a lot of these readings have been about animal totems, like in my root chakra, I have a bear, and so I get that your root chakra totem animal, or this power animal of the root chakra, would be the cow for you. And so as soon as the cow came out and said its piece about being patient, and being able to have this calm air and enjoyment and ability to be patient, and that made you so strong and grounded. And so then as soon as this comes out, the cow turns around, and I'm watching its tail kind of flicker as it walks down the path. And then the farmer comes behind the cow, and I see the two energies of now the farmer and the cow unite. And the farmer has whatever they put over, I think it's usually a bowl that does this, but then the farmer and the cow start to till the field, and so I see those like picks going in the earth and turning up the earth, and then the seeds start to become sown in the earth, right? So I get that because of the patience and the grounded and the strength, that you're able to plant these seeds, these intentional seeds for growth. And so I felt almost like there's this phase, or this maybe cycle that you're in, a growth cycle, that you've done so much, patient waiting for whatever the good intentions have been set forth that you have are, and now it's in this like growth cycle, and the energies have combined. So if we're looking at it from like root chakra, the cow, to now, sacral chakra energy is always dealing with like partners or pairs, relationships. So you and the farmer now get together, and now it's time to sow these seeds. So after you sow the seeds, and I see that there's this growth cycle coming, then I see this, the whole energy shifts and turns to this car, and it's at a stoplight, but like as I see it, the light's green, but it's like this race car, and it's almost like cartoon where the back end is up so high because the wheels are spinning so fast, and the light's green, and the car just flies. And so it's like the 0 to 60, right? And so I get like, it's like time to fly, like it's time to let loose and let go, and like, it's coming. And so I see the car do like a Hot Wheels kind of loop and kind of like fly off the end, and then I get this sense of freedom, and then you land on this open road. And so I get just this, everything that you've done has kind of culminated into this point where it's time, everything's kind of breaking free, and I feel like this placement on the path, right? And so now you're driving, and it's open road, and I see this man in a car, and there's like wind in its hair, and it's like a red convertible or a Ferrari or whatever it needs to be, and just like cruising down like whatever the interstate. And then you come to these 3 paths, and I love when people get 3 paths. Anytime I've read somebody and they have 3 paths, it is like such a huge foreshadowing of really, really good movements and transitions to come. And so it was so interesting, the 3 paths. So it's like a fork. No, that wouldn't be right. Whatever, the one road moves into the 3 directional roads. And typically, we'll start moving down a road and entertain what the 3 options are. But it was so interesting because here you go again with this cow energy. You basically like what is his name, James Dean, like you get on top of the car, you're like in this leather jacket, black jeans, like laying on top of the hood of the red car, and like day turns to night, you have your black glasses on, like a toothpick in your mouth, and you're just staring at the stars, and you're just waiting. It was so unbelievable to see. We have totally different energies, because I would be searching down the paths and like having to snoop and just, figure out what my path was or force my path. And you were just so patient. It was so unbelievable. And you were just sitting on the top of the car waiting. And then slowly down the very left path, this like green energy starts to pour in towards the car. And it basically like hooks onto the car and directs the car down its path. So it's now daytime again. You get inside the car, and I feel now like you're driving down the game board life, right? So I see like there's, the hospital where you can pick up kids, there's like college where you can go to school, there's the bank where you can collect your money, there's the new business partner. It's like all these like things from the game of life start like showing up as these almost like Monopoly outcroppings right along the side of the road, and you keep driving and you just let this energy pull you to where you need to be. So again, it's all about letting the energy take you, it's this patience and this strength in being patient. And so you allow the energy to take you to the very end of the road, and at the end of the road there's this huge, all like mirrored window building, and it's like in the shape of an arrow. And so I'm getting like aerospace, because it's like in a shape of an arrow, but also continues up into like space. And so you park your red Ferrari or whatever it is outside, and you walk up to the door, and now I know we're at your Akashic Records. And as soon as you enter, it's like you enter and it's all like cement floor, really beautiful, like what you would think a billionaire's like office building would be, right? And so there's this stairwell that goes right up the middle, and so you start walking up the stairs, and you go up faster and faster, level by level, and then I get that it's not stopping. And so I'm waiting to see if there's going to be any end, and if you can make it to the top or whatever, and you don't. And so I start asking, what's the meaning of this? And I get that there's they're telling me that it's endless amount of options for you in the growth that you are moving towards. And so there's no cap on what you can do. There's no limit in which you can reach. You can just keep going. It doesn't matter. Whatever you put your mind to, you're just going to keep going. And so as soon as this happens, then the energy settles and you fall to the ground. Everything kind of shrinks down, but still very tall. And so now I see you're like this puppy on almost like a trampoline cord or something. Like you have these bands attached to your waist, and this puppy is like bouncing, and it's like wagging its tail, and it's all like hyper super excited, and it's like bouncing from the floor and bouncing up to like these, and the walls now are all these filing cabinets. And so you like bounce up to one filing cabinet, pull it out, and like kind of like get all excited, and then you bounce down, and then you bounce to the other corner and get all excited, and then bounce down and bounce behind you. And so I'm getting that so your Akashic Records represent your wisdom, and so I'm getting that that doesn't matter where you go, what you do, that any of these potential destinies, like for you, it doesn't matter. I was right in this point. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey for you. And so, and this is like such a beautiful thing, right? How many people say that but can't live it? Like, I feel like your energy can live this. And so it's like this puppy, any file he pulled out, it was like, didn't matter what it said or whatever that title or whatever that statement was on that file. Like, he just enjoyed being there, and he was so, like, there was such an exuberance over the life he was living, right? And so as this happens, then everything settles again, and I call down your higher self. Your higher self comes down looking like a, white angelic form, and we sit down right in the middle of your Akashic Records, and we sit down like a lotus-style cross-leg position, and there's like a single white candle in between us, and I ask, what's for the highest good for this person at this moment in time? And they basically said that your patience is taking you far, and that you don't need to spin your wheels in search of something that isn't suiting to your energy, and that you're very empathic, and that you feel into the field around you. And like, this is where I start to see that path, the singular path with the 3 directions and that green energy coming towards you. And then your higher self basically said you're claircognizant, and you just know, like, when that energy enters into your field of awareness, right? It's like you just have this knowing that this is what you need to do. But you'll wait, and you have this ability to wait and allow things to manifest around you, and you don't go off in search of creating something that's not there, which can lead to these crash and burn scenarios. And and like the car that's spinning its wheels so fast and waiting for the green light, like as soon as I saw that car, it was on a green light. Like, you always had the go, so when you have the green light, and you feel, it's like you can just feel. And I think that's why green was being used so much, because green is heart chakra, and heart chakra, that's like your empathic center. When you're vulnerable and have that ability to open up your heart, you open up to the field around you, and then you can really feel into the field. And so your higher self said it's he needs to know that he's empathic and claircognizant, where he can feel and then just know what's right for him in the situation, and to trust in that. And I think trust was the big thing. So solar plexus chakra energy, which is funny because we went from root to sacral to heart. So not saying that you have a blocked energy anywhere, but I think that's the one thing that maybe that you could firm up just a little bit, would be trust in how you operate. Because the world in this day and age, people like to spin their wheels and pretend like they're doing a ton of stuff, and to make themselves feel worthy of the job, the 9-to-5s they hold and everything they do, but that's not necessary. And sometimes it's a lot better to be relaxed and let the energy come to you, and then make the decisions based off of what you feel in that field. And so I get that this is really strongly connected to you, and the overall message was just trust in what you receive, because it seems like you really have this down in the energy that you've already created around you, and the operational kind of mode that you live life from is really really amazing, and so grounded, and just really healthy, balanced, and in harmony with yourself. So with light and love.